Hello everyone and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends Captain Marvel in binary form, which is a Walmart exclusive. Here we have the binary form Captain Marvel in the front window. We get her name down here with the binary form and the little descriptor down there. Nothing else at the top here as far as the Build-A-Figure logo that we normally get since this is a standalone exclusive, but we do get a logo at the top there. We have some artwork on the sides, same on both sides, and then expanded on the back. No other figures again because this is an exclusive, but we do have the read up here. Captain Marvel channels her powers of cosmic energy manipulation to access an elevated binary form that lets her blast down any galactic threats. And down here at the bottom, we have the UPC code, so you can check with your local Walmart to see if they have this in stock. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and get this open and take a look at the binary form Captain Marvel. And here she is outside of her packaging, and yeah, I mean, it's a cool looking figure. I mean, this is essentially not so much a repaint per se as it is a remolding, since we do have different materials used to give us some of those translucent effects. But overall, it is a cool looking figure, and I do like what they've done with it. Since this figure is essentially a remold of the existing Captain Marvel, she comes in at about the same height, which is about 6 3/8 inches tall when standing straight up, and that makes her about 16.2 centimeters. She does come with some pretty cool accessories, those fireballs on her fists, for example. I'm not sure if those have been used in the Basics line before, but I believe this is the first time seeing them in Marvel Legends. But let's go ahead and get a better look at those accessories, and then we'll get a better look at the head sculpts and the rest of the figure itself. And getting a good look at the accessories that we get with this figure. I will tell you, the studio lighting is making these look, to me anyway, maybe a little bit more yellow than they appear. They are very orange. There are some definite hints of yellow throughout, but for the most part, they're pretty cool looking. So looking up front first at one of the fireballs, I mean, it is pretty cool looking. We get some effects there where it does look like flames coming around because you can see through it. So I think that is pretty cool. And then it does just fit right on, and I couldn't really tell if there was a specific way that it needed to go, but it kind of looks like this side is sort of a flat end, whereas the other side is rounded, which to me means just the inside of the fist, which of course is more flat, goes in there. But I don't think it really matters because they seem to fit just fine either way, in all honesty. And then this one is slightly different. So like this one has a little bit bigger of a little flame trail coming off there. This one does not, but yeah, still pretty cool looking all the same. And then you can see there it has the similar spot with the fist port there, but again, some of the see-through effects. So that is pretty cool. And then looking at the flame effects, I think we got these with the Vision and Scarlet Witch 2-pack version of Scarlet Witch. So we just have these bendable material and really just kind of sits around her arms and just looks like flames coming out. So I think that is pretty cool. And again, looking at it, I really hope this is coming off as more orange because there is a lot of orange. There are those subtle hints of yellow throughout, but it is very, very orange compared to what it looks like right now on my my monitor. So, but let's go ahead and get a better look now at the figure. And getting up close and starting first with the unmasked head sculpt, we can see a subtle difference between the bomber jacket version that this looks the most like. So when we look at the hair, this is the bomber jacket version, so the hair is definitely that sculpt. But if you look at the face, we have a subtle smirk on the bomber jacket version, and that smirk looks to me like it is gone in this other version. And in fact, I would say that the face that they used looks like it is this version here. And then they take the hair from the bomber jacket version, and then we just get those two together to get a little bit more serious looking. But I really like what they did with this. The hair actually does look really cool. I like the gradients that came through here, and I hope that's shining through. Maybe if I do this, that kind of help make it look a little more orange. You can really see more orange towards the back end of the figure. Let me turn these lights off for a second. Yeah, there we go. Can really see more of the orange now. And yeah, that is very, very cool. I think that is just awesome looking. And actually with the backlighting now, that looks really neat. You can almost look like it's glowing. Getting up close too, we can see they did with the eye. We get the yellow and orange there in her eye. So we get that form. Yeah, I like that. Very, very cool. And the face sculpt itself still looks very good. And then switching over to the masked version here. And this is going to have some subtle differences as well. So getting a better look at this. So similar to how we had a slightly different look on her face, if we look at the previous version, again, we see a smirk present that is not present on this new one. So it looks like really we just got a more serious Cap with this particular version. So I think that looks good, though. And then we can see they use the orange again in the eyes to help bring that out. But then going up real quick to her mohawk, very cool effect. And we'll turn this off again. It's definitely more yellow than the hair from the previous one, but still looks really, really cool. I like that a lot. And again, that gradient that they did just, yeah, looks awesome. Going a little bit further down, probably my biggest complaint with this figure is right there with her neck. So looking again, we have the suit that goes all the way up with the blue on the full suit version, but they went with the flesh tone like they did with the bomber jacket version. So I assume that this torso is the bomber jacket torso in terms of the paint and such. So they just didn't even bother repainting. And that kind of bums me out when she's wearing her masked version to have that much of a flesh tone showing. So we'll take a look and see what it looks like, though, on the regular suited version. But then going down, really the main difference here, of course, looking at that gradient that's starting with the arm and the upper torso, and then that goes down into a full yellow into her hand. So I think that is really, really cool looking. I think it's really neat when you look at these translucent things because you can actually see the pegs inside there and some of the way the construction works. I think that is really neat. But yeah, that gradient looks really cool. I like how it's done, and that's really the biggest thing about this figure. The rest of it is something that we've seen before. So yeah, that's pretty neat. I'm not going to go over the articulation. I'll leave a link up here or a card that will link to the other figure so you can see the articulation there. But let's go ahead and do just a couple of different like head swaps and things like that and see how this looks on some different bodies. For the first figure mashup or kit bash here, we have the bomber jacket using the binary form fist, flames, and head sculpt. And I feel like it's been a minute since I've seen the movie, but I could have sworn at the very end of the Captain Marvel movie, she actually appears like this, where she is in binary form, but she was wearing her bomber jacket. And that, I think, was right before she flew off into space. Maybe I'm wrong. You can correct me down there. But this actually doesn't look that bad. It looks like something that could be going on. So, yeah, I like that. And not too much with this one. We have just the regular version of Captain Marvel with the binary form head on there. And that's a little bit more subtle, I think. So if you did want to do just kind of spice up that regular Captain Marvel and give it something a little bit different, maybe something like this will work, because I think that does add just enough difference to it to make this figure kind of stand out. And I'll be honest with you, it would be kind of cool if we could take one arm and maybe have like one arm that was going binary and then have the other arm like regular. I mean, you probably still could if you wanted to pop it off at the elbow. I think you'd have to do some pretty serious work, though, because when we do look in there, that peg looks like it's pretty well in there. But maybe when you heat it up, you might still be able to get it out. I don't think you're going to have much luck getting it out at the shoulder. I'm not really going to try. So, but I think that would be kind of cool if you could have, like I said, like one side going binary and maybe like as if it was punching or something. I don't know. That'd be a cool display. And just for the sake of being thorough, just to kind of show how these colors work together, I think this actually looks pretty cool too. You get that sharp contrast of the binary form head against that green on the Star Force version. And I don't know, that does look kind of cool, but I don't know if we really get any scenes where she's in her Star Force uniform going binary. I don't recall that. And since I didn't have the binary form Captain Marvel at the time of recording all my other Captain Marvel reviews, here's just a quick shot of all the MCU Captain Marvel figures standing next to each other. So on the far left, we have the Target exclusive Star Force Captain Marvel, the Bomber Jacket Captain Marvel, the binary form, and then the standard Captain Marvel. And that about does it for this review, everyone. And I know this was a relatively short review, but to be fair, for the most part, we have seen everything with this figure in terms of the overall sculpt. in my previous reviews. The only real difference being the focus that I tried to put on the translucent material that they use. So that is really the biggest difference here, and I haven't really decided how I'm going to display this figure. And I will say that I'm totally bummed. I finished recording all of the Kree Sentry Wave and had everything done and didn't think I was going to actually get this, and then all of a sudden, once I was done and had my Kree Sentry Wave edited, I managed to get this. So I had a chance to be able to get it up in time for the end of my post cycle for that Kree Sentry Wave, so you should be seeing this after the last video of that wave. But yeah, I'm still glad I got it out there. But anyway, you will find my final thoughts in a comment down below. Make sure to leave your thoughts down there as well. Make sure to hit the like button if you like this review. Subscribe for more content just like this. And aside from that, thanks for stopping by my channel and watching my video, and have a great day.